Hi, gorgeous people. Welcome to your new relaxation practice. I haven't done an intro for a little while, but for those of you that may have just found me and this YouTube channel, I'm Tina and I live in Tasmania on the little island right down the bottom of Australia. Most of the gorgeous people who watch these videos are from here. It's a beautiful part of the world. And I'm really passionate about giving you different techniques and helping you to relax. So this is the aim of these videos. And if I can support you in any way, please get in contact anytime. Well, we are almost at the end of 2025, and there's definitely a different energy at this time of year. The gorgeous Vedic astrologist Vati, whose monthly forecasts I always listen to, you can find her YouTube channel for the free monthly forecasts to get an idea of the energy that may be around. Her forecast is that this December the energy may be a little bit more intense. And we might find that this is or isn't our experience. But the aim of these relaxation practices, when we practice them regularly, is regardless of the external energy around us and even what we may be experiencing mentally and emotionally ourselves, is that we always can choose to come back to this place of calm that is always within ourselves. It's our innate being, always sits at this deeply calm state. It's just that we get disconnected, a bit like the Wi-Fi. And especially if you're in Tasmania, maybe even most of Australia, we've been experiencing quite intense winds this spring. And as we're coming, well, I guess officially, we're almost into summer. And this is also what I would call a disconnecting energy from our grounded, calm state. The wind is what we refer to in Ayurveda as Vata. And Vata might leave us feeling a bit anxious, a bit overwhelmed. Just this, like the wind does when we're not grounded. If we're grounded, and perhaps even too much grounded, if we're too grounded, the wind can be wonderful. It can actually energize us and get us moving again. But because our lifestyles are predominantly Vata, a lot of doing, a lot of thinking, and especially this time of year as well, a lot more social engagement, then we can easily feel ungrounded, unstable, or become disconnected from that state, that innate state within us. And this is what these practices are for. They're here to help you keep returning to that beautiful state so that you feel more clear, your perception, and therefore your actions serve you better and everyone around you. So where are we now? We've just had the full moon on the 5th of December, and now the moon, the light, will start to wane towards a new moon, which will be on the 20th of December. And that new moon will be in Sagittarius. So a beautiful sign for tolerance and for bigger picture and generosity and optimism, of course. However, it's governed by Jupiter, and Jupiter is going to be in retrograde. So this may have an impact on Jupiter's energy. In fact, I think Swati mentioned, and obviously watch her video to get more of an in-depth explanation. She's the professional in this area. I recall her saying something about with Jupiter in retrograde, that it's a very similar energy to earlier this year, so sort of May, June, July energy, I think she said. And so it can be an opportunity to readdress perhaps something that happened earlier in the year again, if you need to readdress something, or to even help you kind of move forward with something from that time. But watch Swati's full video for deeper understanding. But it's kind of going to be, if we're in line with that waning phase of the moon, it's almost, for a lot of us, going to be the opposite of what our external experience is coming into Christmas, being more social, having more going on. So be really compassionate with yourself and with others who may not be in tune to these bigger cycles, and so they may be having to push themselves a little harder to show up externally. You may have to as well, but we can, we want to see our loved ones, and sometimes we can, if their energy is a little more robust, or because there's so many different layers to everything that's going on internally, and then astrologically and energetically, and so we may find that we can actually lean into some of our more robust friends, and our good friends. They understand when we may not be as bubbly or bright, or maybe we are that robust friend, being able to provide that that support. What else did I want to share with you? Another thing that you might be experiencing down here in the Southern Hemisphere, especially down south here in Tassie, is this transition from winter into spring, and then long transition into summer. Is not only can we might be experiencing more allergies, more kind of mucus and flu symptoms. So this is part of winter, any accumulation of extra earth element in our body. So if we have that extra earthiness, it'll want to come out. So, and it generally comes out this springtime when the weather is changing, in the form of flus and colds and mucus and all of that. So that's really normal. So again, for kind of deeper information around that, because I could obviously talk about it for a long time, and we need to focus this session on our relaxation practice, you can contact Ganga, who is the Ayurvedic doctor that I work with, and you can have an online over the phone consult with her. She does travel to Launceston. She's based in Hobart. You can see her there, but you can have an online phone consult, and she can recommend what may be helpful if you are finding that there is a bit of an imbalance there. And one last quick thing that I will say is I've recorded this just before a 3-night retreat that Ganga and I are hosting at Liffey. And the idea of that retreat is to decrease any of our daily stimulation. So decreasing the amount of food that we intake, just to give our digestive system a little rest. Decreasing the amount of mental stimulation. So on the retreat, generally people are not going to be making as many phone calls or checking the emails or socials and things like that. And so really withdrawing from a lot of external stimulus, which allows you then to tune into your inner landscape, to your inner world, back into that inner place of calm, that innate state of calm. And we host those retreats a few times a year. I haven't set the dates for next year. I need to feel into those. And I do host private retreats as well. So if you just want to have a one-on-one retreat, or even with a friend or your husband or wife or a group of friends, and then the experience can be completely tailored to your group, so you get maximum benefit from that. And on the retreat, obviously, relaxing is a key focus. And I guess what I find a lot of the time is people's lives are so full that they wait until a retreat to start. Try to use that as a bit of a kickstart if you know you need to relax more but you haven't been, and that might help you start to form more of a regular habit. But I can't stress how important it is to practice every day, because then when something particularly stressful happens in our life, we'll have the tools, and not only the tools, but we will have practiced. We've put them into place and embodied them to a certain extent so that they can support us during that time. And the practice that we're going to do today, I'm going to revisit one of my favorite practices called Aharana Pranayama. So I recently, maybe the last couple of months, have been doing this practice each day. And the recordings that I do here on YouTube, they're all available to watch at any time. They're timeless, apart from the little bit of commentary on the astrology. But the practices themselves, you can revisit at any point. And I think it was back in July that I did the Aharana Pranayama practice. And I used to practice this just seated. But recently, actually, I've been doing it lying down. So again, however suits you and what you need at this time. I've actually been using it when I've been waking up in the middle of the night to help me to go back to sleep as well. So keep that in mind. So to begin our practice, please take your comfortable position, whether that is seated or lying down. And make any adjustments so that you are as comfortable as you possibly can be. You might like a little cloth over your eyes if you're lying down, just to help you turn within. And this practice of Aharana Pranayama really helps us to come back to our body. So as we move about our day through our many responsibilities and helping others, a lot of the time we get disconnected from ourselves, from our body, from our soul. And the first step to reconnect, or even just connect more deeply, is to come back into the body. And the breath is our most powerful tool. So we use the breath to rebuild this connection, to bring us back to this innate state of calm. So just notice your breath in this moment. No judgment, just notice how the breath feels. And as you've made this time to relax, you may even notice quite quickly that the breath is becoming more relaxed. And if it's helpful, take a few conscious diaphragmatical breaths. So breathing down into the belly and exhaling slowly, feeling that release, letting go of any constriction. And the inhale through the nose, if available, brings you into the present moment. And the exhale allows you to ungrip more completely, to reconnect to yourself. And as we do the Aharana Pranayama practice, you can either continue to breathe consciously or just allow the body to breathe. I find at different times I will need, especially if my mind's a bit more scattered, I will need to breathe consciously to stay present. Other times I can just keep that awareness on the body breathing. So we start our practice at the center of the forehead. So bring your awareness here and relax as you breathe. Bring awareness to the space between the brow. Relax as you breathe. And awareness to both eyes. Relax as you breathe. And to both shoulders. Relax as you breathe. The upper arms. The elbows. The lower arms. The wrists. Relax as you breathe. Both palms. Fingers and fingertips. Return to the palms. The wrists. Lower arms. The elbows. The upper arms. Shoulders. The throat. Relax as you breathe. The center of the chest. Relax as you breathe. Bottom of the sternum. The navel center. The pelvic center. perineum at the base of the spine. Return awareness to the pelvic center. The navel center. Bottom of the sternum. Heart center. Relax as you breathe. The throat. Both eyes. The space between the brow. The center of the forehead. Now descend awareness back to the heart center. Relax as you breathe. And with each inhale, open the heart. Each exhale, empty the mind. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, empty the mind. Heart open. Mind empty. Heart open.